Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Socially Connected 360. We're excited to be back. This is episode number 6. And this is a historical episode. We'll have our first leader, female leader on our show. It's a historical moment. But before that, I want to let you know that our show is sponsored today by Make a Statement Apparel. Our last episode, the owner of Make a Statement Apparel was on our show, Lamar Watson. You can watch the show, episode 5. But check them out, man. Facebook, Instagram, Make a Statement Apparel. We're rocking the gear right now. But we're excited about this show. Not only do we have a sponsor, we also have Monica Guzman on the show, someone I look up to, someone that I really know that is going to continue to do great things. She coaches. She is an entrepreneur. I mean, you name it. This woman is about to bring you a wonderful lesson on excellence starting now. And this kid is gonna grow up. I mean, he's gonna be the sharpest looking teenager, the sharpest looking young man out there. You got him dressed up good.
Thank you. That's my Mr. Excellence right there.
Yeah, and just so you just plugged it perfectly. Our show today is about excellence, something that you talk about a lot, and I think that it's extremely important. I think people are afraid of that word. They're afraid to even think about it or even apply it. But before we get into that, my first question to you is why coaching? I see that I obviously I know of you. You share a lot. You're on LinkedIn. You're on YouTube. You're making videos. But why coaching? Why did you get into, how did you get into this, and why?
My background is in counseling psychology. I've always had a passion for understanding people, what motivates them, what gets them up in the morning, how can I help them overcome personal and professional barriers. Over time, I found that I had a really big passion for business, and I thought, why not combine them both and then study the psychology of the professional, the psychology of business, and what makes people, professionals, and companies really succeed. Because at the end of the day, it's about human beings, whether you're talking about leadership or team building or being an entrepreneur, it's all about you and how you feel about yourself, your brand, other people, whatever you're selling. It always at its core, it's about you as a human being first.
That's great. And I talked about that in one of my videos. I woke up in the morning, I ran. I usually run early in the morning. And I said, before I go to work, I'm gonna make a quick video. I gotta share something. And I talked about believing, right? You gotta believe in yourself first. There's gonna be people that believe in you, there's gonna be those that don't. But if you don't believe in you, and like you just said, it's gotta be you. It's gotta be you. You gotta want this, and you gotta want to be excellent. I mean, you gotta want to do those things. I think that's extremely important. Um, so what is excellence to you when it comes to the things that you're talking about?
Excellence to me is a state of mind where everything about you and what you do and what you represents your best self. Now, I am a former perfectionist. And let me tell you, for those of you that are perfectionists or have ever been, it is draining, it's exhausting, it's stressful. And I can remember many years ago, my mom telling me, why be a perfectionist? Why not strive for excellence? And young Monica said, what is that? And she said, just doing your best. But you have to make sure that it's your best. And only you know when you're giving everything you have. And I thought about that and I said, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And it's also a lot less stressful. At that point, I created my Wheel of Excellence model, which covers the 4 areas that will help you or any business succeed. And it's based on that premise of doing the best possible work you can. Less stressful, more realistic, but still going as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the key. I mean, and with that, there has to be stamina, right? So, you have to build that up. And someone like you who has the ability to coach folks and show them how to build that stamina, right? Because you got to have that stamina. That's key.
Consistency. That's a great word that you're using. It's about consistency, because we all get tired. We all get knocked down from time to time. And a lot of people will ask me, what makes you different from other people? First of all, I'm no different, obviously, than anyone else. But I truly think that what has helped me be successful and helped me coach other professionals to be successful is that I get back up. I might have a morning where I'm struggling, or an hour where I'm struggling, even a week. But I get up, and I get up quickly. And I always compare it to babies when they're learning to walk. It's true what they say. They fall down a million times. They don't care how dumb they look. They don't care about anyone else's perceptions of them. It's just, oh, let me try again and again and again and again and again. And there's no such thing as stopping for them. It's just, I have this goal. I like this walking thing, and I'm going to do it as many times as I need to. And we've lost touch of that. We've lost touch with our ability to have that stamina, as you just said, and that perseverance where nothing gets in your way. But it starts with confidence. And when it comes to achieving excellence, we also have to look at people's sense of self-confidence. I was working with a coaching client today where self-confidence is at the root of all of her problems at work. It's about how she sees herself. People don't like me. They're probably thinking this. And you'd be surprised, even CEOs that I coach struggle with perfectionism. They don't know how to balance their work life with their home life. They don't know how to achieve that middle ground that we're calling excellence. And often it's because of a lack of confidence. So this wheel of excellence model is helpful. And time again, we see that it makes sense, because the first piece is presentation. How do you present yourself to the world physically? Your confidence. Are you polished? How do you speak to people? How are you dressed? We know that we have a tendency to judge a book by its cover, and there's nothing wrong with that, because your presentation is a reflection of how you feel about yourself, the work you do, your business, your life, your family, everything. From there, we go to attitude, which is the way that you think. You look great, you feel great. Now we have to control our thoughts. And I can't tell you how many clients struggle with this. It is amazing. Their thoughts are unrealistic. They are not positive. We have what we call all or nothing thinking. I'll never get that promotion. They don't like me. I'm not a good leader. And so language is very important here. The tone of your emails. I mean, we look at everything. It all starts up here. Then you have behavior, performance. How are you doing whatever it is that you're doing? So we look at the quality of your work. Everything that you present, whether it's an email you wrote, whether it's a project you just submitted, anything is going to have your name on it. And so are we making sure that you're going above and beyond every single time to build that brand, to build that reputation? Finally, we have relationships. We know that we don't live in a bubble. So how do we make sure that our personal and professional relationships are as productive as humanly possible? We know, oftentimes we let people into our lives, or we allow them to stay in our lives when they have no business being there. So if you want to be successful as a professional, you need to make sure that you have a group of people around you, the same way that a president will have a cabinet.
Absolutely.
Who are you allowing around you, whether it's a business partner, a friend, a romantic partner? Who are you allowing around you? And so if you can achieve mastery in all those areas, you're going to be unstoppable.
Oh, yeah. Your support staff is huge. Huge. And it
Yes.
can't be a support staff that always tells you what you want to hear. I know you could elaborate on that. You need real people.
True.
Yeah, you need real people around you. So I read a little bit about the model. That those are the four different things. Can you recap that just real quick? The four, so we know what they are real quick.
Sure. We have presentation, which is what's on the outside.
Mhm.
We have attitude, everything that's going on upstairs with your thinking. We have behavior, number three, which relates to performance and the way you do everything that you do. And finally, relationships. Who are you allowing in your inner circle? What are they doing for you? If they're doing nothing at all, then why are they there? And sometimes people will tell me, well, it's my husband. He's not doing anything for me, but he's just there. And quite frankly, my approach is very direct. And I tell people, I don't care who it is. It could be your mother, your husband, your wife. If they're not helping you, supporting you in some kind of way, even if it's some of the time, then you have to look at whether you need to have more of a long distance relationship with that person.
Or communicate. You got to be upfront. You're not there for me. You're not there for me. Or you're holding me back. How are we gonna deal with this, head on? I mean, that's huge. And you know what? I think a lot of folks, marriage is, and even just relationships. Let's just talk about relationships. But people get in relationships and they kind of just get comfortable, and they don't really talk to their significant other the way that you know they should, and be upfront. But you're right. So let's talk a little bit about. I saw something on your website, which I love your website. I love everything that's on there. By all means, please check out. We'll plug it. We'll put it in there on the description. But you were talking about excellence and perfection. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because those are powerful words. Like you were talking, I think there was a difference in excellence and perfection.
When you are a perfectionist, you want everything to be free from error.
Mm,
You go above and beyond, but to a point where you're never satisfied.
mm,
It gets to a point where nothing is good enough, and then it's quite counterproductive because you don't have any limits on yourself. It can be the smallest detail good enough. That's going to waste a lot of time. You can even physically get sick if you're constantly chasing perfectionism, everything that's perfect. People need to be perfect or they're out of here. My group has to be perfect or I'm going to quit. And so that's simply not helpful. If you embrace excellence instead, you'll live, first of all, a much more relaxed life because you're not stressing yourself out, but you're living more of a balanced life. You're accepting that sometimes mistakes are okay as long as you learn from them. You have more of a balanced way of thinking where you might say, I made a mistake. Wow, I have learned a new skill, or I found an area where I need to grow. So there's no self sabotage, there's no sense of self guilt or I'm so terrible, or any of those illogical ways of thinking. It's more productive, it's more realistic, it's more forgiving in a way. But what I want people to know is that achieving excellence and striving for excellence will still help you move forward, because it doesn't mean that you're going to be lazy or accept mediocrity. It means that you're going to push, push, push. But at a certain point, you're going to acknowledge, maybe I lack in this area. Can I bring someone in to help me? Maybe I need to take a break and then come right back. So it's more healthy. There's more boundaries associated with it. And there's this sense of pushing yourself
mm.
without the stress.
Yeah, yeah, that's huge. That's huge because we all have very stressful lives, regardless. And if we add that extra stress, it's just detrimental. It could be detrimental. So let's talk a little bit about just you. Who inspired you? Like how did you get inspired to do this? Like does anybody, like any like person that's a motivational speaker or someone who inspires you?
Like many other people that I've spoken to, my mother is my inspiration. She's the person that first told me about what excellence even means. And I learned from her to reach for the stars, to demand excellence of yourself, and to demand that others give you the same in terms of how they treat you. Like many other moms, she came from a very humble beginnings. And listen, we started out living in a studio apartment in Newark, New Jersey, single parent home. No excuses though. And I can remember never growing up knowing that there was anything wrong, that there was anything different. I felt so rich on the inside.
Mhm.
And I was born in Colombia. I came here when I was 2. And from the moment we came here, my mom was just go, go, go. I'm going to learn English. I'm going to get my GED. Then it's, I'm going to nursing school. Then it's, I'm getting my master's. Then it's, I'm going to be a published author. And she just goes and goes like the Energizer Bunny. And
Yeah.
so I never grew up in a house where I knew what it meant to be disadvantaged, what it meant to make excuses for anything. I'm not a victim. And I remember her telling me, like, literally, you can be anything. And so I never grew up with this idea that I couldn't be president or that I couldn't be an astronaut. Like, I truly, in my heart, felt and knew that it was a real possibility. And I don't think everyone grows up that way. My mother fortunately gave me a lot of self-confidence. Sometimes I joke maybe too much. No, but that's really where it comes from for me, is loving yourself. I think everyone is amazing. And so I don't think my self-esteem is higher than anyone else's should be. I'm amazing, and I think you are too. I think everyone is, just by the mere fact that you're alive. That means you're naturally amazing. And that's how I grew up. And that's what I want to teach Nicholas, that you can do anything. Don't make excuses, do the work, be smart about it, and you can do anything.
Yeah, yeah, that's powerful. I mean, when you're a young person, um, so that could work, twofold. So if you didn't have that, you could also be inspired by not having that and wanting to give that to your family. Or if you have that, then you could take that and run with it, man. And let me tell you, you have run with it. I remember seeing her at the Pennsylvania Latino Convention when you were booked to speak there. And I just remember seeing like both of you with the same energy, and it was just great to see. Phenomenal speaker.
That's
Uh,
right. She was
yeah,
there.
yeah, I remember. I did the marketing for the first 3 years, but it was Lancaster, and it was just great. And she was wonderful, and I remember that. And that goes to show you, right? Hard work does pay off, but it's not over. A lot of work to be done. All right, yeah, I see you doing a lot of good things. What's the mission? What's the mission for what you're doing? And obviously, what's your mission?
My mission is to help people go from good to excellent. Being good is simply not enough. It's the name of my ebook. Good is not good
I was going to
enough.
mention that.
I want people to understand. Oh, no
No, you
problem.
plugged it. No, you
And I
plugged it.
want
That's
people to
great.
understand.
Let's plug it again. She got an ebook, everybody.
No,
It's on her website. We're gonna put the website. Get the ebook. I'm telling you. Okay.
good is not good enough. That's the name of the ebook. So go get that if you don't have it. Download it now. My coaching clients get a free copy of it, of course. And it helps you to really understand the fact that mediocrity is not acceptable. You might think you're at a good space in your job, in your role, as a leader, as a business owner, as a professional, but there's always that next step. You can always be better, better, better. And this is where my mind is all the time. What can I do next? How can I be better? What can I learn? What class can I take? What book can I read? And if you don't have that hunger inside of you where you want to achieve excellence and do more and more and more, then you might be good, which is fine, but why should that be good enough for you? Everyone has so much potential. My mission is to help people who are already doing well reach that next level of success so that again, they are completely unstoppable. That's our mission.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so let's, I only have a couple more, but I wanted to ask you, we're seeing a tremendous movement with women in leadership. We're seeing a lot more CEOs, not enough. We're seeing a lot more politicians, not enough. Um, what do you think is happening with women in positions of leadership? What do you think is happening in our country and in the world?
I want to say that women are realizing that it's good to be in positions of power, that there's nothing wrong with being successful, with wanting to have power. I think that in the past, our communities, depending on our culture, we've received this message that we should be quiet. It's okay to have an education, but be quiet. That if you want power, if you want money, that makes you selfish or greedy. And I truly don't believe that. I think that more and more women are realizing I can be this good person. I can be a mom. I can be someone who loves my family, humble, but still want more for myself. I'm good at what I do and I want to show it off. I think we're finally realizing that's not called being conceited. That doesn't mean that you're all about yourself. It means you have something to offer. Why not go out there and do it? There's nothing wrong with having everything you want in life. There's nothing wrong with having a competitor who might be a man or woman, it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter. You have something to give, then go out there and do it. Be successful, have lots of money, have the fancy cars, do meaningful work. I think we're slowly but surely starting to build that confidence up enough so we can be out there and be okay with being visible.
Absolutely. And that within itself, my friends, is excellent because we need that. None of us will be here. I say this all the time. None of us would be here. No, no, none of us, if it wasn't for a woman carrying us and really going through that struggle of, obviously bringing us out into this world. I really, my mom, again, like you said, your mom's your inspiration. My mom is also my inspiration. I know she too went the same path, and she's the Energizer Bunny. So, but yeah, I mean, I think I love what's happening because I'm not saying it's even. It's nowhere even, but there's a lot of work to be done. But um, women like you who can provide coaching even for younger folks and older folks too, but and really help the next generation. Let me tell you, we're going to be in a better place because of women like you who can coach. So I will say
Thank
this:
you.
where can people find you if they wanted to get in contact with you?
You can find me by first going to my website, which is www.monica-guzman.com, Guzman, Guzman, where you can then find everything you need to know about me, my work, my philosophy. That includes my email, which is info@monica-guzman.com. I have a YouTube channel if you want to be inspired and learn more about how to achieve excellence. You simply do a search for excellence by Monica Guzman. Also, be on the lookout for my book that is coming out in the next few months. It is called Stop Being a Lazy Leader. For those leaders out there, those new managers, those seasoned executives, if you want to get to the next level of your own leadership, look out for that book.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask you about that. I'm telling you, you gotta have your own podcast. Like seriously, like we gotta make this happen. Like Monica Guzman, yeah, Excellence podcast because you already know the questions I'm gonna ask. So there you have it, folks. She got an ebook. Go to her website. She's teaching and coaching excellence. I'm telling you, this is a woman that you want to connect with, and that's what our show is about. Connecting folks. And I know that a lot of people know you. You've been booked to speak at several places and events, organizations. Have you come out do some seminars and things like that? But this show right here is going to be on everything. Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere we can put you, we're going to put you, because we think it's important that everyone, men and women, um, connect with you so they can be better in whatever they do in life. So I want to say thank you, Monica. This is a historical show for me. Um, Being a woman, a leader in our community, in our nation, and a wonderful speaker and someone who really cares about helping people. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on the show.
Thank you for having me and congratulations on all of your success. I'm a big fan of yours as well. And I'm so glad that you're doing this work and getting your message out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this what it's about, you know. It's about us working together and really just sharing each other's work, and we can influence one person or 20,000 people. As long as it's one, we're gonna make a difference in this world. So again, I want to say
Well
thank
said.
you. Episode 6, we're here. It's been great. Thank you so much. Social Connected 360. We want to thank Monica. Want to make sure that you get connected with her. We're going to have her information in the description. Socially Connected 360. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out Monica's YouTube. Check out our YouTube. And like I always say, stay connected.